Well, ladies and gentlemen, are we all feeling happy this evening? Are we all feeling good because of the arrival of a player that finally came into Celtic? There was a lot of hype about him over the weekend. There's been a lot of hype about him over the last 7 days. If this is your first time coming across the channel, please do like and subscribe. Remember this jersey. Remember a guy called Jota wore this jersey and scored some remarkable goals in it. A cracking free kick against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. And you know what? He's back at Celtic Park. As I said on Saturday on the channel, I was looking at flight logs and then there was pictures leaked of a van, and today the club announced just after 2 o'clock that Celtic have signed Jota back from Rennes for over £8 million. A 4.5 year deal for the Portuguese superstar. It's mad to think 36 games ago he was lifting the treble with Celtic in his career. Went to Saudi Arabia, didn't work out over there for him. Played 25 games, 5 goals in Saudi. Went to Rennes, played 10 games. And you know, it works out that Celtic profited around £1 million per month for the Jota sale. Crazy to think. It's just absolute madness to think that he's back at Celtic now. So there's pictures of him today, obviously on the couch, the same pose he done when he's in the Brazenhead wearing the bumblebee, iconic. But box office player, he's probably been one of our best wingers over the last 10 years. He's up there with Scott Sinclair, and he's 25 years of age, and he hasn't even hit his prime yet. Now, he has to bounce back from the setbacks of France, the setbacks of Saudi Arabia, and as I said on this channel many times, Brendan Rodgers will be the ideal man to get the best performances out of him. I had people saying in the comments, oh, he doesn't suit Brendan's style of football. If he didn't suit Brendan's style of football, why is he brought into the club? There's a chance to come back. If you're not happy in your work, you have to look back to another job you are happier in. And I've done it in the past. I went back to places in the past and went there for a couple of years just to bounce back. And I think he'll be stronger. I really believe he's stronger. We know what he can do in the Champions League. We know what he can do in the Europa League. We know what he can do against them, most of all. And I think it's an exciting Celtic team we're building with Brendan Rodgers, Alistair Johnston, which perhaps Kieran Tierney, I'm going to talk about him in a couple of minutes, Nicholas Kuhn on the right, Jota on the left, and we can play Maeda in the middle if we need to. But I can't wait to see him perform again. Hopefully we'll see him the weekend. He can't play the Champions League game on Wednesday because of the registration. We have to wait till it's into the playoff rounds, just to put that out there, perspective. Let's talk about Kyogo's departure. That was confirmed shortly after he's joined Rennes for around £10 million. A guy that we're going to miss. We're going to miss. I know there was all this speculation going around over the weekend that he failed his medical down to his shoulder. A lot of absolute nonsense. If people actually looked into what was going on the weekend, there was a lot of flooding in Rennes. Obviously, they got tail end of that storm, what happened in Scotland and Ireland. And I wish Kyogo Furiashi the very best. It's a new chapter opening for him in the French League. Yes, he's probably doubling his wages or tripling his wages going to France. A lot of Celtic fans are just like, why is he going to France, to a team that's 16th in the table? Because maybe if they get a good bit of form together, they can push to get into the European spots. And he wants to be a part of that Japanese national team for the next World Cup, which is around the corner next year. So Kyogo, 85 goals, 3 league titles, 3 league cups, 2 Scottish Cups, and he was a part of that treble winning team alongside Jota. Since 2021 he provided 17% of Celtic's goals as well, which is crazy to think. So I wish him the very best. There's no point talking about him anymore. Done and dusted. He's gone. We have to go out to the market now and get forward. And Kavista Garden, I've said already in the channel, would be ideal player. 22 years of age, playing at Bromby, 38 goals in 110 games for them. We'll see if Celtic are actually going to put an approach in for the Danish striker. And they're valuing him around 30 million quid. I think we'll get him for around 10 million quid, to be honest. And yeah, he will be our most expensive striker if Celtic actually be ambitious and get this guy over the line. We'll see what happens. We have been looking in Denmark. Anthony Joseph just literally tweeted less than an hour ago. We were looking at a guy called Tobias Slodinger. And he plays for Obdense in the second division in the Danish league, 19 years of age. He's a versatile player. He can play up front, he can play defensive midfield, and he can also play centre back as well. He's played 19 games this season so far in the second division of Denmark. It's a bit of a strange one, look more like a project player, because at the end of the day we need to bring strength in. If Naroski's going to go, we bring this guy in, get him play with the B team, and then mould him into the senior team. Look, Scandinavian market has benefited us in the past, and we'll see how this goes anyway over the next couple of days. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on this one. Regards to Louie Barry, a guy that we've been linked with, 21-year-old English forward. He can play for the Republic of Ireland as well. He hasn't declared senior level yet. Aston Villa player. Reports that Hull City are in advanced talks to get this guy on loan from Villa. He had a spell halfway through this season at Stockport County. He played 24 games, scored 16 goals. There was reports about 2 weeks ago that we put in a bid of around 5 million quid for him, and Villa have rejected it. So if he goes to Hull, wishing the very best. I just think we should just put all of our eggs in one basket and go for Kieran, to be honest with you. There's no point of us looking at guys in the Premier League, yet they're on a decent salary, and try to get them in. And he was keen for a move to Celtic. There was a lot of reports that he wanted to move to Celtic, but Villa are keen to give him a new deal, send him on loan and prove it, and maybe be part of their squad next season under Unai Emery. He's only 21, so I don't think that's another one we can just sail on and forget about. Tierney, the situation with him, he's had to get more minutes over the weekend. He came on over the weekend, and look, at the end of the day, I know he's accumulating minutes, and he's played 5 games so far since he's returned from injury, which he was out for 3 months. Arteta is keen about keeping him back at Arsenal, because he's not first choice preference. He's in the mix between second choice and third choice. You know, Zinchenko's linked with a move away. Atletico Madrid want him. Borussia Dortmund want him. And if he goes, I think Tierney will stay at Arsenal. But the reports are that Celtic are going to approach for a loan move in this window. So if he comes in, Jota and Tierney on the left, and just let's put this in perspective, folks, right? We sold Tierney for 25 million. We sold Jota for 25 million. If we're getting these two guys back in January, who are still young, still got it. Tierney's 27, Jota's 25. It's not like they're well past it, and they have experience in Europe for Celtic. Tierney's experience in the Premier League, playing for Real Sociedad and in the Champions League as well. It'd be box office. Like, we're into the Champions League playoffs. We're at the win the Elite Cup. We're cruising the league. And we have a Scottish Cup. This could be one of our best seasons ever if this goes all down the way. All down the way. Now, obviously, I can't see us winning the Champions League, but making a state in the Champions League, and you never know who we can get in regards to the playoffs. It depends on how we do on Wednesday night against Villa. If we rack up the points, or if we finish with no points from that game, we'll see what happens. But 50 million, and we're getting these guys in, could be potentially, if Tierney comes in on the 3 million loan move, 11 million return. Madness is costing us. Look at the money we're making on a 39 million profit. So folks, that's really it for me today. Let me know how you're feeling about Jota. Let me know how you're feeling about Kyogo. Let me know how you're feeling about Kieran. Let me know how you're feeling about Tierney. And look, let's move on regards to Louie Barry. It's in the past. Speak to us all soon. Hail, hail. Up the Celts.